Good evening, my name is Anna Jabłońska and welcome to Poland Daily. Donald Trump has signed Bill 447 into law, which was unanimously enacted by both chambers of the American Congress. The legislation presupposes that the American assistance given to various Jewish organizations in their efforts to regain the properties lost by Jews during the Holocaust. Although the bill does not have any significant consequences to the Polish legal system, it does create grounds for political pressures on Polish authorities.
The President of the United States, Donald Trump, signed Bill 447 into law, which requires the US State Department to file yearly reports on the restitution of Jewish property. According to some analyses, the US administration was subsequently given means of pressuring Poland so that our country would have to give over non-inheritance properties to Jewish organizations. Donald Trump's move caused concern among Polish members of parliament, who consistently admit that this legislation is unfavorable to Poland. Wojciech Jeśman, member of the Polish-American community, who met with American senators on numerous occasions to lobby against this legislation, claims that it will have disastrous consequences for Poland. The US Congress adopted Bill S-447 on the 12th of December 2017. Since that moment, the Polish government has not issued a single petition which would oppose this regulation. Poland, however, will not feel the consequences of this bill right away. First, the US State Department must file a Jewish property restitution report within 18 months.
The Law and Justice Project on the establishment of a commission investigating the extortion of the VAT tax at the time of the PO-PSL coalition has already had their first reading in Parliament. Parliament's Legislative Committee is dealing with it right now.
Sami widzimy doskonale, że od momentu rządów dobrej zmiany
There is no need to study all of the years. Now, this gap is clearly smaller and the Commission itself should move on as soon as possible.
A oszczędności z tytułu uszczelnienia.
Although, according to the opposition, the scope of the analysed years should be wider.
Jeżeli PiS nie chce dołożyć tych 2 lat,
The Commission should also take into account the last years of Law and Justice governments, especially if the Law and Justice has nothing to do with the accusations.
no to powinien zgodzić się na komisję, która obejmie wszystkie lata.
The MPs of the Cookies 15 movement, who have the same point of view, submitted a second draft on the establishment of a committee investigating the extortion of the VAT tax in the Parliament, which has been investigating this procedure since the beginning of 2007. Everything indicates that the head of the VAT Commission will be Marcin Horała from the Law and Justice, who does not preclude the examination of cases from recent years. I have been recommended to the Commission on behalf of the Law and Justice, and I thought about the scope of the committee's work. I think that the Ministry of Finance and the extortion mechanism of the VAT should be checked first. As the publicist Piotr Gabriel says, he understands the opposition's demands for widening the years for the investigation of the VAT fraud, but more chances of success are seen in the study of a specific time interval. Such expansion for so many years unfortunately can result in blurring responsibility. However, the largest VAT gaps were created during the PO-PSL coalition, and this time should be definitely examined. The VAT Commission was to be established in May, but it will probably happen in June. A lot depends on when the committee will meet to proceed with the application for its appointment.
Attorney General of the Legnica district filed a motion at the disciplinary court for approval to seek legal action against the prosecutor Barbara Kijanko in a high-profile Amber Gold case. The Amber Gold pyramid scheme went bankrupt in 2012, and the main prosecutor, Kijanko, is suspected of intentionally failing to act and neglecting her duties.
Some suggest that this lack of action might be influenced by the fact that Michał Tusk, son of the former Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk, was employed by a subsidiary of Amber Gold. Małgorzata Wasserman, the chairman of the Parliamentary Investigative Commission, confirmed that evidence is still being collected, and so far there is no decision whether or not the prosecutor Kijanko will be charged.
President of the Czech Republic, Miloš Zeman, visited Poland and together with his Polish counterpart, Andrzej Duda, called for closer cooperation among Central European nations to defend their decision-making powers against pressure from European Union leaders, particularly over migration policies.
Poland and neighboring Czechia are critical of some EU policies, particularly a plan to redistribute thousands of migrants among member states by quota. They are also opposed to a new proposed system for granting asylum and relocation. Zeman said Poland, the Czech Republic, Slovakia and Hungary Members of the Visegrad Group are under pressure to accept the views of the EU governing body and should strengthen their unity to defend their own interests. Andrzej Duda congratulated Zeman on his re-election and thanked him for choosing Poland for his second visit after his mandate was prolonged. The Polish president noted that mutual trade between Poland and Czechia for 2017 exceeded 20 billion euros, and this southern neighbor is Poland's second biggest export destination after Germany.
Poland can be a country of sweetness, particularly when it blooms springtime. Highway rescue teams in western Poland had the opportunity to literally taste it today when they were called to an accident involving a truck which spilled its molten chocolate contents.
Molten chocolate covered both lanes of the road, forming a 2-inch thick, rapidly cooling layer. Firefighters used hot water jets to remove it. Witnesses stated that the road resembled a big bar of chocolate.
Thank you for watching Poland Daily. Please join us tomorrow at the same time. Good night.